Good morning, wet shavers, coffee lovers, and podcast listeners everywhere. It's Mark with GeorgeToon.com. It's time for another second cup. So grab a cup of coffee, kick back, relax, put in those earbuds, adjust that speaker volume, and let's talk some wet shaving and a few other things in podcast form. What is Second Cup? Well, Second Cup is a podcast that will give you some additional information that didn't make the Monday morning mailbag deadline. This might be something that is time sensitive. For instance, a sale that could be ending before the next Monday morning mailbag hits the airwaves, or a piece of late-breaking information that viewers have passed along that is equally time sensitive, or something else regarding the wet shaving world that needs to be broadcast in a timely fashion. And we'll also have some time to chit-chat and discuss some other things like coffee, movies, television shows that are streaming online, books, that sort of thing. So thanks for tuning in to Second Cup, and I hope you subscribe to the podcast, where you can also find episodes of the Monday Morning Mailbag in podcast form. I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me. We'll get the show underway in just a moment. Thanks for joining me. Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the August 24, 2026 episode of Second Cup. Great to be with you this morning, and as I mentioned on the Monday Morning Mailbag, where the heck did August go? I mean, I turn around and August is almost over. My gosh. I think it was Charles Schulz who said in a Peanuts comic strip, "Winters walk and summers run." I think, or something like that. I'm paraphrasing. I'd have to look it up and find it online. Maybe I'll do that later, or maybe we'll talk about it in an upcoming Monday morning mailbag. Something, it goes along something along those lines. You know, winter just drags on and on and on, and summer's here, and before you know it, it's over. But we got some great fall weather to look forward to, and I kind of got a glimpse of that this morning. I went for a morning walk. My gosh, was it beautiful. It was about 63, 64 degrees, low humidity, a beautiful cool breeze. I had on a nice pair of shorts and a t-shirt and my walking shoes, and it was just wonderful. You didn't work up a sweat at all, and it was just a really, really terrific morning walk. Now, we had some storms roll in yesterday, some thunderstorms. So if you wanted to do anything in the evening, outside, that was completely blocked. There was a lot of rain. As a matter of fact, I was watching some YouTubers online stream from the Northeast Ohio area as they were driving through all those storms. And it was, it was pretty chaotic. Yes, a lot of thunderstorm warnings and that sort of thing. Heavy rains. And gosh, in the middle of the night, or was it early in the morning, I heard a couple of large thunderclaps. I mean, they were pretty darn big. It just kind of woke you up and you were in kind of a twilight moment and then fell back asleep. Yeah, that was pretty amazing. But this morning I woke up, beautiful blue sky, some puffy clouds, a nice cool breeze. And I thought, wow, I'm gonna go out and get a walk because later on today the weather could change. You never know. But great to be with you. I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me. What do you got this morning? This morning I've got McDaniel's coffee from Save-A-Lot, a really, really nice budget-friendly coffee. Keurig cups. Hang on one minute. Let me get a sip. I don't know if you can hear that in the background. The neighbor's doing something. I got the windows open because it's so beautiful and cool this morning. And that coffee just hits the spot. It's marvelous. And again, it comes in at a really, really nice price point. And I'm also enjoying this. I don't know if you belong to Costco, check this out. You hear that? This is Kirkland's Signature Nature's Path Organic Ancient Grains Probiotic Granola. Boy, is this stuff great. 6 grams of fiber, 30 grams whole grains. It's got a BC30 rating probiotic. A probiotic rating of BC30. I'm not sure what that means, but that's what I see in the label. In case you know what it means, I'll communicate it to you. But this is really terrific, and I'm having a little bit here and there in between sips of my coffee. Oh, and my coffee mug this morning is the Washington Post coffee mug. I got this a number of years ago at a Reuben Awards, and I've had it ever since, and really kind of neat. It's got the Washington Post, that classic Washington Post font on it, and it says Washington Post all the way around the mug, almost like a barber pole kind of a design. Kind of neat. Yeah, so that's what we got going on this morning. Great to be with you this morning. I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me. I hope the morning is a wonderful, pleasant one for you. I hope the weather is very, very agreeable. So great to be with you. I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me this morning. Hey, let's pay a few bills and we'll get the show underway in just a moment. Well, we recently heard from viewer Jason Miller, also known as the Golden Age Wet Shaver. Check out his YouTube channel. Just search for Jason Miller, the Golden Age Wet Shaver. And he got together with Heritage Hill, and they collaborated on a brand new shave soap and splash called the Golden Age Wet Shaver. It's exclusively available at the Razor Company. So just get up to the Razor Company and search for the Golden Age Wet Shaver. It'll come right up. And here's what they have to say about it on the product page. The Golden Age Wet Shaver features a warm, richly layered fragrance built around pomegranate spice and warm vanilla sugar, complemented by oak moss, amber, juniper berry, violet, sandalwood, and musk. The result brings together fruity sweetness, warm spice, woods, florals, and deeper earthy notes for a distinctive wet shaving experience. Once more, here are the scent notes. Pomegranate spice, warm vanilla sugar, oak moss, amber, juniper berry, violet, sandalwood, and musk. Now, it's best for wet shavers looking for a warm, complex fragrance combining fruit, spice, vanilla sweetness, woods, florals, and musk. And on the product page, they have a word from the Golden Wet Shaver himself. For Jason Miller, known throughout the wet shaving community as the Golden Age Wet Shaver, traditional wet shaving became much more than a daily grooming routine. His journey began in 2022 after discovering an inexpensive butterfly safety razor at a dollar store. An admittedly rough first shave led him to YouTube in search of better technique. Soon, he had purchased his first shaving brush and several soaps, beginning a journey into traditional wet shaving that would have a lasting impact on his life. Over the years, the wet shaving community became a source of friendship, confidence, encouragement, and personal growth. Through videos and live shaves, Jason eventually began sharing that experience with others and encouraging people who may be facing struggles of their own. His mission today is to show that wet shaving can be more than a routine. It can provide a moment of mindfulness, friendship, connection, and hope. When John from Heritage Hill Shave Company approached Jason about creating this collaboration, the Golden Age Wet Shaver Shave Soap became a celebration of that journey and a reminder that everyone can find their own golden age. Best of shaves, and that's from Jason, the Golden Age Wet Shaver. He closes by saying, Ashaba. Well, there it is. Check out the Golden Age Wet Shaver on the Razor Company. That's the exclusive home of where you can purchase it. It's going to be fantastic. Check out that artwork. We're going to be talking about it on an upcoming Monday morning mailbag, and we're also going to get a review done on it. Once again, from the Razor Company, exclusively to the Razor Company, from Heritage Hill and Jason Hill, the Golden Age Wet Shaver. Give it a look. We received this email from viewer Gary Joseph, and the subject heading reads, Buying blades at travel destination, and what then with the unused blades? A thought. And here's what he has to say. Here's a thought for anyone who buys double-edged blades while traveling. If you're close to a store at your destination, pick up a small pack of blades there instead of bringing them from home. That way, you have what you need without dealing with checked luggage. But what about the unused blades you have left at the end of the trip? If you're traveling with carry-on only and don't want the hassle of checking a bag just to bring blades back, consider donating the extras. Ask the hotel or motel clerk if you can leave the remaining blades at the front desk so future guests who forgot theirs can grab one or two without having to go out and buy a whole pack. For train travel, rules currently allow DE blades in carry-on bags, so this idea mainly applies to air travel, and that's from Gary, and that is brilliant, Gary. Wow, that's a great idea. Does anybody out there currently do this? Do hotels and motels accept unused razor blades, maybe even blades in a sealed pack, that sort of thing? And do they set them aside for other guests who come in later on down the road and need a DE blade? That's a fantastic idea, Gary. Really, thank you for sending that along. Hey, folks, comment below and let us know if you do something like this already, or if you've ever asked a hotel clerk, hey, you know what, I need to go out and get a DE blade for my safety razor. Where is there a drugstore or, a big box store or something nearby? And they reach behind the counter and go, oh, don't worry. And they give you a pack of razor blades that are right there. Another guest dropped these off if, just in case someone needed them. How about that? That would be so cool. Wow, that's a great idea, Gary. Thank you so much for passing this along. Really do appreciate it. Folks, send us an email at mondaymailbag@gmail.com. If you've ever done this or you've ever come across a situation where a hotel clerk or a motel clerk has handed you some blades that another guest has donated for future use to someone else needing a DE blade. That's fantastic. Gary, thanks again very much. Well, recently, Douglas of Phoenix Shaving sent out an email talking about the origin of star jelly. Now, if you missed it, here it is again. Some products spend weeks looking for a name. This one had a name almost the moment I created it. I was in the workshop experimenting with a new aftershave formula, making the usual adjustments, taking notes, and seeing where the chemistry wanted to lead. Nothing about that day suggested I was about to stumble onto one of our most popular products to date. I certainly wasn't trying to invent a new category of aftershave. I was simply following my curiosity, something I've always learned to trust over the years. As the batch came together, I looked into the beaker and stopped. Instead of a liquid splash or a creamy balm, I was staring at this strange, translucent gel. It had a look all its own. Curious, I dispensed a little into my hand and applied it to my freshly shaved face. I am the animal testing. The alcohol greeted me first, followed by just a kiss of menthol. It had that classic post-shave freshness I never wanted to lose, but what happened next was completely unexpected. The gel absorbed almost immediately, leaving my skin feeling moisturized and silky without the heavy, greasy finish that so many balms leave behind. It delivered the refreshing character of a traditional splash while giving my skin the comfort I'd normally expect from a balm. I remember looking back at the beaker and laughing out loud. Star Jelly? The name appeared in my head almost instantly. If you've never heard of star jelly before, don't worry, most people haven't. That's part of what makes it so fascinating. For centuries, people have reported discovering mysterious blobs of translucent gelatin on grass, fields, and tree branches, often after meteor showers. By the time someone else arrives to see it, the strange substance has often begun to disappear. Medieval physicians wrote about it. Old English dictionaries gave it wonderfully odd names like star slime, star slutch, and star fallen. Folklore insisted it fell from the heavens. More recently, paranormal researchers have proposed everything from atmospheric organisms to extraterrestrial biological material. Whether any of those explanations hold water is almost beside the point. The mystery itself is what has kept the legend alive for hundreds of years. If you know me, you already know why I couldn't resist. I've always had one foot planted in history and the other somewhere out among the stars. Strange folklore, forgotten texts, unexplained phenomena, old conspiracies, that's my happy place. Add to that my lifelong love of Italo Calvino's Cosmic Cosmics, and there really wasn't another name that made as much sense. Standing in the workshop with that odd little container of translucent gel, I wasn't thinking about branding, I was thinking about one of history's enduring little mysteries. Well, the name stuck. Today, Star Jelly remains one of the products I'm proudest of because it still occupies a place all its own. It isn't a balm pretending to be a splash, and it isn't a splash trying to moisturize like a balm. It genuinely combines the refreshing feel of a traditional alcohol aftershave with the skin conditioning comfort of ingredients like plant-derived allantoin, coconut-derived caprylilic capric triglycerides, and vegetable glycerin. The result is skin that feels refreshed, hydrated, and comfortable within moments, without any greasy residual hanging around afterward. Every time we ship another batch, I still think back to that first gooey concoction sitting on the bench. Before there was a label, before there was a bottle, before anyone outside the workshop had ever tried it, it was simply a strange, translucent gel that reminded me of one of my favorite unexplained mysteries. Looking back, I can't imagine calling it anything else. So there's a little bit of history on Star Jelly from Phoenix Shaving. We love Star Jelly. I love it. I have mentholated and non-mentholated. It really is terrific stuff. And it is very different from a balm and an aftershave. It's somewhere in the middle there. It's not quite a balm, not quite an aftershave. It's its own thing. So give it a look from Phoenix Shaving, Star Jelly. Are you looking for a new lime shave soap for the shave den? Well, Phoenix Shaving just dropped Sci-Fi Lime. Yeah, it's now available. Here's the scent profile. Pure Persian lime with crisp, creamy undertones. Refreshing, zesty, tart, bright, complex, invigorating, uplifting, and energetic. Note, available in a deodorant for the first time as well. This is last year's sales copy, but it's also new if you've never heard it before. Believe it or not, this is probably our fourth time dropping a straight lime scent in the last decade. The original, being from 2013, was dubbed Old Time Lime, and then a couple years later we did a Long Island Lime for a New York City meetup, although that did contain seawater too. Sales were steady at first, but then interest in citrus scents seemed to wane once more. I think we may have just been ahead of the times on this. Whatever the case may be, Fran and I decided once again to take another crack and a quintessential lime scent. This time around, however, we decided to add a little more depth and, dare I say, sophistication into the mix, with opting for Persian lime rather than the standard. Boasting a slightly sweeter yet still tart scent when compared to other limes, it really stimulates the senses. In fact, in the world of aromatherapy, it is believed Persian lime can help enhance your mental focus when dealing with daily tasks, which may be especially wise when you consider the blade you are passing over your throat. No? Well, it's available right now. Sci-Fi Lime is back once again. Check it out at Phoenix Shaving. Also from Phoenix Shaving, Flight NC-16002. And as I write here, Flight NC-16002 quickly became one of the standout stars of this summer's High Strangeness Bermuda Triangle Edition Advent Calendar. The response was immediate. Cadets recognized it for what it was, a beautifully crafted homage to Mont Blanc Explorer, one of the finest modern woody aromatic fragrances ever composed. Explorer was introduced in 2019 as an invitation to venture beyond familiar horizons. Created by master perfumers Jordi Fernandez, Antoine Mossandu, and Oliver Préchou, it celebrates discovery through ingredients gathered from across the globe. Bright Italian bergamot opens the journey alongside clary sage and pink pepper. Haitian vetiver and smooth leather create a confident, earthy heart before settling into a rich base of amber, patchouli, musk, and warm woods. It is refined without becoming formal, adventurous without trying too hard, and the sort of fragrance that feels equally at home on a mountain trail, in an airport lounge, or standing at the edge of an unfamiliar coastline. Our interpretation preserves that adventurous spirit while placing it squarely inside the strange world of high strangeness. Every shave becomes another expedition into the unknown, a reminder that the greatest mysteries are often waiting just beyond the horizon, hidden beneath perfect ordinary circumstances. One routine flight, one unexplained transmission, one impossible encounter. History has been trying to make sense of Flight NC-16002 ever since. Flight NC-16002 has returned for those ready to board. Just remember, if you happen to glimpse a perfectly smooth purple cube where it has absolutely no business being, it may already be too late to change course. Well, that's a reference to the whole background story of a famous flight from 1948. I'll let you go up to the product page and read all about it. It really is fascinating and an ongoing mystery from what I read. But check it out from Phoenix Shaving, Flight NC-16002. That's how I'm pronouncing it. An homage to Mont Blanc Explorer, a scent that sounds like it'll fit in on any occasion, in any situation. You'll get a lot of use out of it. Once again, from Phoenix Shaving, Flight NC-16002. Give it a look. I just received this from Alpha Shaving Works. Big Papa, the big razor for a premium shave. As we get older, it appears that sometimes our grip begins to fail. Until now, there have been very few razors that have a handle that is fat enough for us to grip easily when our hands are beginning to get weaker or are covered in soap and hair. Now there is Big Papa, inspired by Scott Moore and designed by Alpha Shaving Works. The handle on Big Papa is 96.5 millimeters long and up to 18 millimeters wide. That's slightly over 3/4 of an inch in the old money. Big Papa is by Scott Moore and Alpha Shaving Works. Secure your razor with a 50% deposit. Big Papa, the big razor for a great grip. Handle and head are in two-tone aluminum, rose gold, and matte black anodized. The head is from the Futura razor, smooth 0.80 gap and positive exposure. This razor head was formerly only available as a limited edition with the Futura handle, now offered here in aluminum for your shaving pleasure. Now, it's available now for pre-order. You put 50% down, which is $36.50. The total price will be $72.99 plus shipping. So get over to Alpha Shaving Works and check out Big Papa by Scott Moore and Alpha Shaving Works. Now, before I get out of here, I'm going to recommend a movie to you, and this one is a classic from 1973, The Sting, starring Paul Newman and Robert Redford at their absolute best. A smart, stylish caper that still goes down smooth. Set in 1936 Chicago, two charismatic con men, Johnny Hooker and Henry Gondorff, team up to pull off an intricate, high-stakes sting against a ruthless crime boss. The film blends sharp wit, impeccable style, and Scott Joplin's unforgettable ragtime soundtrack into a clever, feel-good caper that still charms after every rewatch. If you've never seen this movie, get ready for a real treat. From 1973, The Sting, starring Paul Newman and Robert Redford. And that wraps up another Second Cup. Thanks so much for tuning in again. I really do appreciate it. I sure hope you enjoyed today's show. If you did, please share, please subscribe, and pass it along to a fellow wet shaver or friend. My thanks to everyone who commented and contributed to today's show. And I mean this sincerely. Without you, this microphone would be silent. If Second Cup or the Monday Morning Mailbag aren't showing up in your regular podcast feed, please drop me a line at mondaymailbag@gmail.com, and we'll try to get it all sorted out. So again, thank you all very much. I look forward to getting together with you again on these podcast airwaves. Until then, enjoy the day, enjoy your shave, and enjoy that second cup.